Man. What a day. What a day. What a day. Let's see if I can get this on here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let me see if I can get this on here. Let me see if I can edit this thing. Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let me see something here. Just give me a second here. I'm working it. Let me turn that volume down. What a night, huh? All the way around, man. I was up till 4:30 this morning. Woo! Hold on a second. Up till 4:30. Let's see if I can find this. Let me see here. Let's see, go to channel. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Just give me 1 second. I'm working through a lot of alerts here from the city of Santa Rosa. There's a lot of stuff going on. We got really bad fires that are intruding into the eastern part of the city here. So bear with me for a second. I'm just making sure people realize what's going on there. So let's see. I'm going to be able to adjust that. Give me 1 second, okay? Sorry, now you did good, baby doll. You did good. I was watching you last night. Look at how dark it is here. It's like 9 p.m. at night here. Look at how loony this is today. Yeah, give me 1 second. I just need to fix something. ash storm. It's crazy. Sorry about that, guys. Just checking some things outside. And good morning, everybody. How are you? Happy. Hope everybody's doing good. I believe today is Monday. Good morning, Dawn. Nice to see you. I have the got the worst lighting in here today. I might go out to the Shine Shack. I think it's a little more comfortable out there, but I don't know. Cupcake, dang, I would have joined you. Cupcake was a one-gal wrecking machine. Yes, so take your allergy pill. I took one this morning, Dawn. It's horrific here this morning. It is terrible. Terrible. This is the worst I've ever seen with the ashfall, and this fire is right on the eastern edge. They evacuated the community of Oakmont, which is where all the retired people live, and that's really terrible. 5,000 people live in that community. Lighting isn't too bad. Okay, because it's real dark. My camera makes things look lighter here, but it feels like it's 9 p.m. here. So I was listening. Thank you. I was listening last night on a few channels. I was on a few panels. Thank you, G Mangoes. And I was on with Dave a bit, and Harvey and Sig last night too. And man, a lot of the bullshit ran deep last night. I gotta say, a lot of the BS. Did you come to your stream? Who? No. Are you leaving? What's up, NNC? How you doing? What's going on? No, I'm going to stay put here. I'm going to stay put right here. So the fire burned your eyes. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible here, the fire. So I want to address some of those things today. Last night, I think there's heartfelt apologies, and then there's what I call situational apologies in life. Now, what is a situational apology? It means that you get caught out in real life in a game of chess and you're threatened to be put into checkmate. Okay? It's exactly what it means. Situational confession. Okay? It's like if you don't say the right thing at that moment, we're going to pull the switch. Okay? So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, you're gonna start. Who's ever there is gonna make you the bitch boy in that situation there, and that's exactly what happened last night. You have a situational confession that the pressure got so big, but a situational apology, is useless because it does not come from the heart in a place of an unprotected. An unprotected location. In other words, if you had sat on a park bench for 5 hours in the city of Chicago or New York City or something like that, and then apologize, and if anybody wants to come and get me, it's payback. I appreciate. There's nothing heartfelt about that. When you hear somebody say, you can say whatever you want about me, but then cut right to the chase, but I just don't want to be doxxed. Well, life doesn't work like that, man. And I apologize, but I have an agreement with that gentleman, right? It's a situational apology. It doesn't mean anything at all, okay? No, Miss Joan Ferguson, I'm going to have my say a lot over the coming weeks because I've worked very hard here. It's going to get a lot of airtime like he hasn't been able to keep me out of his mouth over the last now 7 months or so. He's going to get a lot of airtime here, okay? And I'm on my B channel, so I can kind of let it rip. Okay, so he's going to get a lot of airtime here. And I want to say to Cyanide Cupcake, anybody that would call you a dude has been blind from birth, obviously. You're an extremely attractive woman. And anybody with a pair of eyes can see that. Doesn't matter, Miss Joan Ferguson, it doesn't matter. I get tired of being a punching bag. I get tired of the BS. You can't tell me that a 38-year-old man starting in January, ooh, the trolls were so bad to me. When this guy went to Las Vegas, This guy with Bobby and me on our dime for years, celebrated birthdays, 5 months staying here on the rancho without paying a dime, running up $400 electric bills in a month because of taking half-hour showers, pulling my sink off the wall. Okay, had to take time to repair that. Good morning, everybody. I never heard an apology for that, for stinking up the shine shack. And I admitted you cleaned it up nicely when you went. I'm going to tell the truth here. That while you were there, it stunk because you refused to take garbage out. And, you messed a lot of cabinets and the countertop up on that stuff. So, no, I never paid for his teeth, penny pincher. I never put a dime into teeth. Okay? People tell you I got my own hillbilly gap or whatever. I don't pay for other people's teeth. I might have flipped a couple $100, but that was thousands of dollars of dental work. And we were friends. So if you want to tell me that January of 2020 upended all of that, then I would say that you're a very weak individual. But the main thing I want to talk about today, it's coming, Coach. It's coming. Trust me. Things work very slowly. Thank you, everybody. I'm doing okay here. The winds have died down a little bit, which is good. But the point I want to make is situational apologies mean nothing. You're backed into a corner, and you don't really care about what you're saying. You don't care about any kind of agreement that you're making with Colleen. You could care less about that. Anything will come out of your mouth. Remember, I'm the dirtiest player in the game to get you off the hook. To get you off the hook. You would say anything at that time because when people told you apologize, you're like, your wording, instead of looking at cyanide cupcake into the camera and saying, you know what, cyanide cupcake, I apologize for what I said. It always is couched in these terms. If I said anything to offend you, what the hell is that? If. You see how, good afternoon, Bella Rose. You see how, hi, Jordan Blue. You see how everything is conditional if. In other words, it's not me who thinks it might have been something offensive, but if it offended you, Cyanide Cupcake, or Colleen, then I apologize. Another situational apology that means absolutely nothing. How you doing, Golden State, in the world? It does not come from the heart. An apology that comes from the heart is you being in a location where nobody finds you and of your own free will without threats, you come out and apologize to the people that have been offended, including me. And I don't care what Sig says about use for content. My channel is triple the size of yours, triple the views. Okay? You always got it ass backwards. You always needed me for views. Okay? Always. And I was always the one person on YouTube that was the biggest ego threat to you. But you know what? I'm a nice person. I never put things in terms of how big a channel is because at the end of the day, these channels are teeny tiny little channels. I followed Peter McKinnon with 2.5 million subs. Casey Neistat. We're nothing, man. We're peanuts down here. But still, you chose at every point in time to stab me in the back on YouTube. Because I was always the one person that always stuck in your craw because I always had much more success than you ever had on YouTube. And you know what? I'm still here today, still running 3 channels, strike free, and doing my thing. Okay? That's the bottom line. And remember, I'm the dirtiest player in the game. This is the thing that you have to bear in your mind. Okay? Underneath of everything that happened last night, everything was said, and I got grilled and I got questioned on several panels last night. Okay? I mean, people weren't easy on me. But underlying my life is not the not something that says I'm the dirtiest player in the game. And anybody that watched those appearances, thank you everybody. Anybody that watched those appearances, I'm just not much of the side chat. Yeah, hi Helen, good to see you, sweetie. Anybody that saw any of that last night and has any kind of rational ability to analyze things will know that anything that came out of their mouth last night was a situational confession because of fear of being seen all the time and followed. Now, in my life, I don't think I can never counsel anybody doing that, but I'm not Colleen, right? I might have had here's the thing I want to say. I might have had my disagreement with Colleen before, and we kind of went our separate ways for about a year or so. But at the end of the day, I never said anything disrespectful ever about Colleen. You know why? Because I respect her as a person. She was kind. She sent me coffee beans from Hawaii. I have a right to disagree with the way that she sees things, but I can do it in a respectful way that is not contrived to hurt feelings. Because I think she's a really nice lady. Okay. At the end of the day, yeah, I appreciate her too. Okay, and we started talking again the other night. We have a shared interest at this point in time. But the difference is, even though I disagreed with some of the things that she thought went on, I at least did that in a respectful way without name calling. But why? Because underlying my nature is a nice person. All right, it's not a person that I'm going to get to a safe location. See, you can, yeah, how you doing? You can delude yourself. You can BS yourself into thinking that great numbers, everybody's talking about me. Other people could do the same thing. They could charge up. Look at my numbers today, closing in on 200 at 11:20 on a Monday morning. Okay. I could take it up as much as I want. I could rant on people on YouTube, and I guarantee I would pack the house with twice as many people as you have. But building a channel on a positive platform is much more challenging, but much more rewarding over the long haul. You see success as insulting and being negative, degrading to women, with the whole approach of everything you do. And this is the bottom line, there's not a genuine bone in your body. And Jory Nadab would tell you that, okay? Because he's the one that believes, in all the, get out there and, get out there and be the show. Yeah, you got a mouthpiece, get out there and raise hell. As long as they're talking about you, it's all good. You know, there's never any guidance on that front to be a decent person. It's to take your own checkered past and failures and try to fashion a tool of revenge out there in the community that's going to degrade women, transgender guys. Okay, in other words, your counsel as a godfather could have been used in a good way, but we see how it's all turned out, and we see the situation that we have arrived to today. Thank you, Charla. I don't do drama. This isn't drama. This is just talking from the heart about things, because I'm on a lot of panels last night myself, okay? I've got a lot of panel invites. I wouldn't have gone on. I like Street Life. He's a nice guy, but I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna get into a melee about things over there. And plus I like G Mangos a lot, and I like, I was on Dave's at about 4 o'clock this morning, 4:30 a.m. Okay. At various points, a lot of people have had the ability to counsel, and I will put Mr. X in that too, have had the ability to counsel and to try to right this ship. But I guess that being insulting in people, Elbow has feelings too. I have feelings too. But in the universe, you get back what you put in. Okay? Here's the question to be asked. If you were putting out positive content and building a channel in a positive direction and teaching people about van life and how to be a nomad and tips on urban van dwelling and how to find a good boondocking spot in the city, you think that people would have an issue with you? No, you choose to go head to head with people that are a lot smarter than you, like Ramirez. Okay, this guy's a genius. He can find anybody anywhere. Okay, the proverbial thorn in your side, Ramirez, right? But I would tell you what, these situational apologies mean nothing to anybody because you have the underlying motivation was clear. You only want to get off the hook and be in a situation where people aren't going to dox your location. So you'll pick and choose. Okay, I'll stop talking about Colleen now because that'll buy me safety on that front. Meanwhile, you'll open up cannons on me as you always did for 6 and 7 months, knowing that talking about me drives big numbers on your channel. And I can probably count in one hand the number of times I talked about you in an extensive way over that 6-month period because frankly I was disgusted. You weren't out at a rancho for one day when you were talking about that you were held in prison when somebody took their blood and guts and time to build your van. You know why? Because you didn't care about that. You achieved your objective, and if you have to plow somebody in the ground to achieve that, then so be it. I'm as expendable as anybody else. I'm just the one that was willing to do the work on it and be the chump. And for those people that are delusional and say that she did it for views and all that, no, we talked about it a long time ago. I've never needed Elbow for views. My channel's doing better than it ever has since I stopped doing panels and things like that. Things have been great. I bring real content, real travel videos, real cinematic features, real restaurant reviews, edited content that takes time. You don't care about your audience. You don't really care about YouTube. Your bottom line is just money, money. Hey Snoop, how you doing? Your bottom line is just money, 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 money. Be controversial. Always go for the low-hanging fruit. Always go for the low-hanging fruit. The cheap shot that's guaranteed to fill up. Hey, let's have a classic rant tonight. Let's have a state of the steering wheel rant tonight. What an easy way to fill up a room. Go try watching a movie and reviewing it and see how many people will care about what you have to say. Do your jacked up pizza review on Caesars and you barely break 1,000. Nobody cares about it. And in a matter of a week or two, if you survive what's in the works for you, not physically, but on YouTube, it's not going to matter much more anyway. Okay? Because the biggest mistake you made was not leaving me alone. When you had your copyright Lollapalooza, your copyright extravaganza, you made a real bad mistake. You did something to my channel that was unprecedented, and even YouTube itself in my communications acknowledged it. And no matter what anybody else says about a guy in a van or other people sacrifice their channels for copyright, I will firmly believe, and when I explain what you attempted to do to me, probably the majority of people will accept that this is what caused the termination of your channel. See, I don't ever care if people come back up. What do I care? I mind my own business. That's on you. You want to create new channels and come back? I haven't ever gone after anybody. I've never laid a strike on anybody on YouTube. Never copyright struck anybody, never community guidelines struck people for bullying and all that kind of stuff. Because it's YouTube. But you went beyond. You left the playing court. You left the chessboard, and you took it out to try something that backfired on you mightily. Now the beautiful thing is, at this point in time, you can't figure out why you got terminated. Not suspended, terminated now. So you put out this tweet that, oh, I had James Brown Payback playing on my live stream. That's what must have taken me out. Nobody gets taken out. I don't care if you ignored the warning that comes on the live stream. It tells you you're playing copyright music and you'll be shut down if you don't stop. Even if you didn't, you might get a copyright strike, but it's not going to take a channel down. It's not going to terminate a channel. You did something that was one of the big sins of YouTube. It was either predatory behavior or scams, which would fall under the heading of what I believe that you tried to pull on me. And at that point in time, instead of letting me just, instead of thinking twice about, well, Rosie was really nice to me, she helped rebuild my band. No, you decided to go, as your nature is, to be the lowest of the low person that you can, and willy-nilly decide to strike everybody. You had an option, and you talked about it. You could either choose to send a copyright 7-day takedown notice, which decent people would do, okay? I mean, I've been parodied on SIGs and other places. I wouldn't dream of striking or takedown notice because I don't have a thin skin, okay? But you check the box to issue an immediate copyright strike. And the worst thing that you did is you didn't even review that copyright tab that content creators who are monetized now have. Tells you carefully review every one of these videos that YouTube believes may be a copyright match and may infringe on your copyright rights. In other words, if you just go out and put blanket strikes down on people, and the strikes start kicking back in a major way, then YouTube has a major problem with you. And I think, what did you call that when you undertook that? What did you call that when you undertook that activity? Oh yeah, an experiment. I just wanted to do an experiment. Well, when you try to strike me and terminate my channel with something novel on YouTube using my own video. Let me repeat that again. Using my own video. My video. Not yours. You made a terrific mistake. Number one, you had no right to drop a copyright claim on that. YouTube says our system is not perfect. It's a what do they call that? A beta system, right? It still needs to have the bugs worked out. So they tell you very carefully, make sure, okay, thank you, Snoop. Make sure that you review all of these videos before you drop a strike. And I showed you guys on camera my thing. I have stuff, people have downloaded my stuff since 2013 and it's still up there. Why? Because I don't drop copyright strikes on people. I'm not that kind of person. Okay? That was a huge mistake, number one. Trying to use my own video against you. And when things work out in the end, which I think I will be on 4 Score and 7 Beers channel, and I will be relaying much more in depth the dastardly deed that was attempted to be pulled on me that likely, in my opinion, and you'll never convince me otherwise, led to your channel's termination. So having tried to terminate me, not just walk away from me and leave me alone, but terminate me, I felt at that point in time that I could take my gloves off and get into the ring and do my level best to deliver a knockout blow to you. And that roundhouse, hopefully, is about halfway in motion right now. But I'm not YouTube. I can't predict YouTube. Might I not win? Of course. But to me, it's a win-win because you have no content to build on for the future. You have no money flow anymore. I likened it to the gold dust in the movie Treasure of the Sierra Madres. At the end, it all blows away in the wind. All those 5,000 videos, all those things that had the things that drive daily views. Woo! Gone. So to me, it's a win-win situation. In other words, I'm on bonus time now. Nobody loses on YouTube now. Okay? All right, and that's the bottom line on that. So that's the big mistake you made, and that's what's in process now. And I can tell you at the current time, I have 22 communications back and forth with YouTube. You reach a certain level, and YouTube opens up more avenues of communication with them. Level 1 is you just read the help sections of YouTube. You don't get to talk to anybody. You get to another level, hey Poke Doyle. You get to another level, and then you get to email support. You get to another level, which I reached. Then you get to chat. You have a chat button that you can actually chat with somebody. Now, YouTube is YouTube. There's no guarantees. Flip a coin, okay? But the thing I impress, it's a win-win situation. And now, when you've reached a point where you feel like safety is compromised, now you want to give a situational apology. And your apology has no recognition of what you've done wrong over the years and the way that you've tortured women and other people in the community, degraded people, taunted men, talked about Monkey Boy like he was stolen value. You couldn't even carry his shoelaces. All right. Now, when the walls are closing in, now it's like, oh, if. That's what we call conditional in logic, right? I majored in philosophy. We call that conditional reasoning. It means nothing. It's predicated on something that may or may not be true. So when you say, hi Christina, when you say, if I did or said anything to offend you, it totally negates your apology. Apologies come out, you look at the person and you specifically say, Colleen, Rosie, whomever, Nicole, whomever. I want to look into this camera today and tell you I wholeheartedly apologize for the things that I did, which were X, Y, Z. Nobody's forced to accept an apology. But at all points last night, all I heard was if I offended you, Cyanide Cupcake. If I offended you, Colleen. If. That's not an apology. That's like you fill it in. If it's good enough for you, then okay, we'll sign off on it. It's like your boss signing. That's good enough. Okay. To me, it was insulting. To me, it's just a situational apology to get off the hook. And you only cared about having to deal with whomever it was, whether it was Ramirez on the panel or whomever last night, that you could strike a deal with them. You didn't care about being sincere. You've never cared about being sincere because remember, it's the dirtiest player in the game. Say anything to anybody at any time to manipulate the situation. Say anything to anybody. How you doing, Mama? Say anything to anybody at any time to manipulate the situation. That's what we saw last night. Classic. Well, I know damn well Cyanide Cupcake. Hey, hipster, how you doing? How you doing, Michaela? I know she didn't fall for it. I know darn well Colleen didn't fall for it. Now, maybe the gentleman that has been had eyes and boots on the ground there, maybe he does. But it's my hope that no matter what happens, that people hold you true to your word. Because in my opinion, and sorry, Jory, you may think it's the show, and it's the show. Then what you're saying is you don't care how degraded and insulted people are on YouTube as long as there's a show. And maybe Mr. X feels that way too. I don't know. You know, I like Mr. X. But as long as it's good and somebody's being plowed under, you can console yourself with the knowledge, well, they were mean, they're mean to Marshall too. Who struck first? Who's the original bad guy? And who's counterpunching? That's the question you should ask yourself. Going all the way back to Blacktop Boondocker in 2015 and the Birdseed redemption and my redemption in Chicago. And sitting there in the post-Chicago interview when we're in that hotel and I'm getting ready to take off. I've learned a lot here, Rosie, about how to be a better person. You said the same thing to James Wonderlust Estate in the Birdseed aisle at Walmart with the Birdseed redemption. I'm gonna be a better person. Yeah, because you're in it's a situational apology at that point. It's meaningless. How you doing, Debbie Lynn? Yeah, so we're gonna see. Some people may not be the dirtiest player in the game, but they can potentially be the smartest player in the game. And it may not be me. I'm not tipping my hand at this point in time, but I'll tell you this, the apologies and that stuff last night was truly weak. Truly weak. Nothing from the heart at all. No feeling at all. You would go back in your van, turn off the thing and think, woo, man, I just bought my personal security and all it took was just a conditional if I offended anybody, blah, blah, blah. So I'm calling you out on that right now. And I'm saying how fake it really was. It was a situational apology. And for the people that it was directed towards, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't cut any ice at all. Because you're the guy that doesn't have any moral compass, doesn't have any conscience at all about things in life, and will say and do anything to alleviate the pain of the situation at the moment, except take the most painful step to make a heartfelt apology to people. You see it as an opportunity, street life, how many people we got watching tonight, or because I'm on here, there's probably 200 people came to hear me hear what I have to say. You know, this you get the flow of what really counts. It's not you. And I'm saying all of you and me as people, it's the flow of a frantic channel rebuild. There's nothing genuine there. There's no there on that. That's what I want to try to make people aware of today. That's a very important distinction that you guys understand and see, that when you say something like, hey, I don't care what you say about me, but I've struck an agreement with this gentleman. Okay, so that's all I really care about. So to Colleen, to Cyanide Cupcake, I will just say if if I said anything that was hurtful in any way, then I apologize. Not so. What does that mean? If no apology ever says if. No apology ever says if. So you can see everything in terms of view counts. You can see everything in terms of how many people show up. But every time that you do that, you become so transparent that everybody and his mother can see that those apologies meant nothing. And that's the sad part. There's so many people that could exactly duplicate the nonsense that you want to do, but that's why you find yourself in a situation of being terminated. Because you don't have the native intelligence to understand that building a channel on a negative is a dead-end street. Despite you may hear, you're the show, yeah, get out there, offend, the hell with women, take that MGTOW, run out with it, be insulting as possible. That's how you get the show, you got a mouthpiece. That kind of talk does nothing to show any kind of respect for people out there that are going to be used as ammunition in that approach to running a YouTube channel. That's really sad. That's really sad. And I think about the people that have been torn up over the years. I'm giving a troll challenge, find me now, and point the camera out the window. All things that are contrived for views. Nothing genuine. Nothing of any value to anybody. And he wonders why, when it came to August, September of 2019, the channel died. YouTube had shadow banned it. Somebody bought him 1,000 subscribers in August. Probably that contributed to the shadow banning too. Instead of reporting it to YouTube, did I think this happened, so you better check into this. They're just going to shadow ban you. So out come the goofy magnetic signs on the side of the van. And out comes, you got to take it to a whole new level of controversy now, because your negative channel brought you to a dead end. Now you mistakenly believe, because you have a blip up of attention here, because most people want to see if you're going to get terminated again. You take that as an endorsement that you're on the right track again. Well, I gave the whole analogy of Napoleon's 100 days. You can run roughshod for your 100 days. But remember, Wellington is massing his army at Waterloo, okay? It was a close call by a skin of the teeth then, and it'll probably be a close call by the skin of the teeth now. I don't have any worry if it doesn't succeed, because like I said, it's a win-win situation. You have a channel that's basically dead. All of the gold dust blew away. All gone. All the star flight, earning $5,000 on the star flight. I know what that feels like. I got 10,000 videos between all channels. Imagine if that was gone. Whether I upload anything in a day or a week, I still get, 9 to 12,000 views a day. Okay, why? Because there's a huge library of things behind me. You don't have that anymore. Okay? It's gone with the wind. Yeah, appreciate that, guys. Thank you for the thoughts about the fires. It's horrible around here. It's so depressing. It is horrific. People love drama. People don't like. Well, I'm not going to use that term, Jordan Blue, because I'm a little more of a public stature and a known person on YouTube. So I just hold my counsel about things. But as far as a young-looking person, a young-looking guy, no, nobody I know that's a 48-year-old man or however old Elvis is, 48, 52 or whatever he is now, is going to pull over to the side of the road. They're going to take one look over there. They're going to roll down their window and say, "Holy hell, man, so an emergency came up. Sorry, I got to go, man." Would in no way, shape, or form have any kind of truck with a young person like that. Well, what do you have in common? What are you going to talk about? What it takes to be the dirtiest player in the game? I mean, what's the motivation? The motivation is to drive people nuts on YouTube with controversy, and you see what you get in that situation. Now you wear that label, rightly or wrongly. You will wear it like a tag, just like D. D was 14 years old at the time, but he'll wear that tag for life. People will put that around your neck. There's a lot of things that I've questioned over the years. You sat here for 5 months, you just waxed and compounded a van. Your idea of a design of a van was, I want to have a bed in the back. You could no more take that existing frame of that jackknife sofa and convert it into a really nice seating area and fly around the moon. You wouldn't know how to hook up an electrical cable if your life depended on it, or change out a converter box, or put in a control panel. Okay? There were a lot of great things that were done for you in that. And what are you doing coming here? You can't even be grateful enough to Missy Jen, who tried to be supportive, eat the crap that you cooked up, would drive you around on errands and things. You couldn't even take the time on her birthday or Christmas to even walk up to the dollar store that was 2 blocks away and pick up a card for her. Or a little token of appreciation. Not me, because I'm used to it, man. It's a one-way street. Okay, I signed on to it. All right, I'm not complaining. But she was heartbroken, and the greatest day in her life was the day that your van bumper left the premises of this property. That was the greatest day in her life here. That's how thoughtless you are. You got taken to Vegas. You got bought birthday dinners. But remember, that's cool because you're the dirtiest player in the game, right? Yeah, I used Rosie for that. But in January, I had some trolling and some people were on the text-to-speech, and that was really bad. Dude, get a thick skin, man. It's incredible. I've got a thicker skin than you do. She was I can't impress upon you how hurt Missy Jen was at that time. Because I'd always made a big deal of Missy Jen's birthday and invited you to go along to her birthday dinner. Even had a birthday dinner for you. So you can take your apologies and you can stick it where the sun don't shine. She got so bad, she didn't even want to go she never went into the Sean Shack. She didn't want to see it. But I will remind you, you ripped the sink out of the wall. You ran up a $400 electric bill because of your half-hour showers. Who in the hell does that? I'll tell you who does that, a very thoughtless person who doesn't give a damn. In a state that water is a most precious resource and expensive as hell, and every day you're going to take a half-hour shower. You quadrupled the size of my water bill, and I didn't complain or say a word. I asked you to take shorter showers. You would not roll out of bed until noon to 1 o'clock during the day. Then you'd have to be undisturbed while you cooked your coffee. And you wonder why the van bill dragged on for 5 months? I got up at 4:30 a.m. for years, decades, to go to work and punch a clock. Then, upon leaving the rancho, I get back a text message. Thanks for doxing my location out on YouTube. Have I ever doxed anybody on YouTube? I have 400 people's addresses here from Christmas cards we used to send. Anybody ever had a problem with me doxing anybody's information? Anybody ever seen Rosie dox somebody out? At that time, this is still my friend, quote unquote. Anybody ever seen me dox anybody out on YouTube ever at any time? And I have more people's names, addresses, phone numbers than anybody on all the people on YouTube combined. Dave the Fisherman, him and I have been at it now and then. I got his phone number. I've never disclosed his phone number. There's tons of people I have that phone. I'm not that kind of person. Bergs, I'm not going to put out Bergs' phone number. He doesn't put out my information. There's certain people that know the boundary that you cross and the boundary that you don't cross. That was another thing that really bothered me. The person who saw him was J.K. NoCal, because J.K. NoCal is a tradesman. He goes up and down Highway 101 to the big box stores and always in and out picking out materials, and you could just see Elbo's van parked in the parking lot down in Roner Park. Okay. Unreal. Unbelievable. Never an apology after that either. Never an apology, never a thank you. The operative thing at that time was because I always get more views than you. Whether we're together co-streaming or I'm uploading my own content. Okay? But that really bothered you. So your whole game plan at that point was to build a big script, make Rosie the villain, and use me as a punching bag to drive an increase in views. Okay? That's what you really felt about what was done for you. Sorry, we got a car horn. What up with pizza is a vid too. Yeah, pizza is a vid. Hi Mr. Z. Hello everybody. Yeah, it's not a competition, Debbie Lynn. It's friends helping friends. Now, I understand you did not do as I choose to do and work for 46 years and now return to the workforce. Okay, I broke down on the way to Las Vegas. I didn't come on and beg people. It's amazing. 1 week spaced apart, we both have our vans up on top of pull-on tow trucks, okay? Flatbed tow trucks. Isn't that amazing? We both have a breakdown within a week. And we both end up costing the same money. Now, I'm smart on the road because I have travel insurance. I'm a nomad. I'm a van dweller. I travel a lot. You should have tow coverage and breakdown, especially if you're out in the middle of the Nevada desert. But you chose to come public and beg people for $100. I chose to come public and tell people how you handle things when you're broken down on the road. I gave them the beginning of the story, the middle of the story, and the ending of the story. And I never asked anybody for a thin dime. But I'll tell you what, my friends and my subscriber base are such that if I was in trouble anywhere in the United States and put out a true legitimate call for help, they would have thrown collectively thousands of dollars my way. These people are not ATMs. These people are responsible in their own lives, and they want to see you be responsible in your life. They're not to be abused like they're some sort of ATM machine, okay? That way, if there ever does come a day when there's something that really is needed and Rosie's in dire straits, a snowstorm, I went off the side of a cliff or whatever, or I'm terribly injured, or I'm losing the rancho or something. There's people that would be there in a heartbeat for me. Building a channel on a positive platform. So you had a perfect counterpoint in 1 week. You could see how somebody handled a breakdown and somebody handled an almost identical breakdown. One is a tire, one is a battery. But didn't turn out to be a battery. But you understand what I'm saying. All right, big difference between the yeah, Mr. Z. Maybe I could shake a thank you, Linda. Good to see you and Sherry Anna. And leaving the rancho, and I mean, how long did you think you were going to stay here, man? Did you ever look at how busted up my hands were and infections and my fingers swollen up twice the size? Because of all the vile germs and joy juice that's in that van. Taking out old nasty wet rugs and probably splooge everywhere. It's a lucky that I'm so friggin' strong, my immune system, that I didn't contract, gangrene or, some raging necrosis infection. But that never crossed your mind because you're the dirtiest player in the game, because you got out what you wanted. And Jory would endorse that. Yeah, get to the rancho, get in there, get the van, rebuild, get back on the road, get what you can out of that. You are the show. I mean, where's your head at on that? So that's the thing today, the situational, conditional apology that means nothing. And I don't know if you're watching or not, Colleen. I guess it's about 9 a.m. in the morning in Honolulu and Kona. But that was no apology last night, okay? That was an apology of, I'm in a bad situation. I'll say anything to get out of it. I don't mean a word of what I tell you right now, but I got to get this monkey off the back. It's like, say whatever you want about me. I don't care what you say about me, but please relieve this cross from my back right now. Please take this bad situation now and remove it from me. You didn't care when other people had a bad situation. You didn't care when you would experiment about copyright striking people. You had no sympathy for people. And the fact that Sig can sit up there and think that there's still something redeeming about you, just absolutely oh yeah, the entertainment value, that's right. The entertaining value. I keep forgetting about that. Yeah, okay. Entertainment at other people's expense. Okay. Damn, what was I thinking? I didn't remember that. Situational, conditional apologies mean nothing. I will say anything at that moment to make a deal. Remember those words, a deal. I thought we had a deal. Isn't that convenient? Let's get closure on this thing. Let's have closure. Isn't that cool? Maybe some of us wanted closure for the last 6 months or so, right? Maybe Colleen wanted closure. Maybe I wanted closure. It ain't over when you say it's over, okay? So, my best hope is that you get re-terminated again. Because every time you attempt to pop up, it'll become easier and easier to get you off the platform. Will it happen? Probably not, knowing YouTube. My hopes are never high. But do remember this. This is a win-win situation for everybody on YouTube except your backers. Yeah, you're doing a big thing. You're the show. This is a win-win situation for them. Because in the game of chutes and ladders, you went from 3/4 of the way to the top, you slid all the way down to the bottom of the board. Let me get a 69 if you can understand the chutes and ladders at the bottom. I also compared it to a Monopoly board where you had made it to the light blue area of the board. Can't remember some of the names on there, but right now, man, you're back on Baltic Avenue and Mediterranean Avenue. You're slumming, man. Slumming on YouTube. No base to build on. All the laziness of always doing live streams. Oh, it's true. I mean, you did do a 40-second pizza review. My bad. It makes me want to run out and order a Little Caesars pizza and do a review. It's exactly what it is. It shoots and ladder, and you hit the shoot, man. And I have serious doubts as if you'll be around to in the 5 years it'll take to rebuild that. And the chances of you having another video out there that will even break 25,000 views and an RV thing that anybody would care to watch are about zero. Okay, because as they said in the great movie Animal House, when otter turned to flounder, in those immortal words, face it, flounder, you fucked up. Remember when D-Day cut up and made the Lincoln Continental into an eat me machine? Face it, flounder, you fucked up. What a great line. Very apropos. You screwed up, man. And the funniest thing of all is, as you flounder around with Twitter and you put out tweets, please check my channel again. I think it was because I was playing music on my live stream that I got terminated. No, dude, you got the mother of all bombs dropped on you. You got the Moab one and done deal. So you put in these dumb tweets that, yeah, I think it was because I played recorded music on my stream, and yeah. And then another time, it's like I didn't break any terms of service. Man, dude, how can you appeal if you don't even know what the hell you did wrong? The first thing you do when you get a channel termination, because I've been there multiple times, is they want to know, did you just hit the reply button within 3 seconds? I did not, take your crayon. I did not. I was not a bad boy on YouTube. They have algorithms that show whether you brought up the terms of service and read the terms of service through. They have certain procedures that they follow when it comes to reinstating channels. Number one, does the person even acknowledge that they did anything wrong? Number two, have they examined their material and their pages to understand what they did wrong? Have they then indicated that they've read the terms of service and understand where they went wrong? And have they apologized for that? absent of putting down, and how you doing, Henry? Absent of putting down exactly what you believe it was, and the fact that you're apologetic and read the terms of service. But if you tell them, I'm what's best for business, blah, 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 we made a lot of money together, you know what? They're going to give you the fangula, baby. Fangula! They're giving you the hit the road, Jack. So we can imagine how that appeal went down. It probably became a talking point around the lunch table at YouTube, right? He always watches everything I do. He's always watching every stream I ever put up. He's always glued to it. Always glued. Because I live rent-free in his head 24/7. Around the clock. So just bear that in mind last night. The conditional situational apologies that came down. Yeah, I get that, Henry. Yeah, it's pretty bad over here this morning. So I'm going to heat up a cup of coffee and then I'll answer any questions if you have them. Yeah, none of us are PewDiePie, Jody. The best thing we can be is very humble about our very meager footprint on YouTube. We're little farts in a windstorm down here. That's all we are. Okay? Sometimes we get an inflated idea of ourselves because in our little place called Boyd's, maybe some of us have, quote, bigger channels than other ones. But the question is, do you use your channel for, good? Or do you use your channel to use people? That's the big question. To be asked. Yes, he's always been obsessed with me. Always been obsessed from day one, because I was always perceived as a threat to him because of being a much more exponentially larger channel and having a channel that's built on positive people. I don't have to come on and harangue people every night and say pay your taxes and harass people. Don't have to do that stuff, It's like, it's there. If you want to do it, you do it. If not, you don't. We don't talk about it on the channel. We don't beat it. I don't have Patreons. I don't have memberships on the channel because I want everybody that brought me to this point to always be welcome on my channel. And what the hell content would I put up of a special nature for member-only chats? Yes, obsessed and could not control me. Yeah, thumbs up are the only memberships here, guys. That's all I've ever asked for is just thumbs up. Now it rankles other people that I don't. You'll be called a dry e-bagger. That PayPal is still out there on the side. Yeah, you put it there once and it's there if somebody wants to give it. And I'm lucky people hit that once in a while during the week, and I say thank you to them. But how many months was I demonetized here? 6, 7 months? I'd be monetized for 10 days, then demonetized for another 30 days, right? I never came on and made a big deal. I did the same content I always do, whether I'm monetized or not. And if I lost monetization today, I'd still be on here broadcasting my life on a daily basis. Okay? I took care of my future by working for 46 years, and I'm back working again. YouTube is not a place to come to support your life. And if you have to tweet YouTube that your life depends on it, your livelihood depends on YouTube, the older you get, the harder it is to earn that income and replace it and have a viable future. Six. I'm just going to get my coffee here real quick. So as far as conditional apologies, are concerned, that was a real bunch of BS last night. That was somebody that's scared and would say anything with no heart behind it at all. He could care less about Colleen Aloha or cyanide cupcakes. I dare go so far as to say he hates their guts. All right? But that's the weak conditional apology that you get, is get me out of this situation. I'll say anything, I'll apologize to anybody, but please let this burden be lifted from my shoulders right now. No meaning at all. None at all. An apology totally devoid of substance. Desperation, that's it. How you doing, Tammy? And I think that that's the worst, that's the most insulting apology of all, when you do that, because it's transparent and people see that you did not do that from a place where you felt secure and safe, and where an apology might actually mean something. What I call the out of the blue apology. You guys tune in one morning in Chicago doing a State of the Steering Wheel address, and hey, I just want to come on this morning. I had a St. Paul moment, you know, riding the horse, so to speak, and lightning hit me, and I realized that I've been a bad guy. I tried to be a negative guy to build a channel because of the WWE. I realized that's stupid. It brought me to this point, and I just want to start apologizing to people on YouTube and start to turn my life around. Okay, that would be a real and truthful apology, not a situational apology. Yeah, no sincerity, just words. That's exactly right. What's up, Kid and Cat? No, there'll be no fixing this on this thing. At least from my end, because I'm gone full bore. I'm proceeding ahead full bore. So, like I say, though, it's a win-win situation at this point in time. Whether he leaves YouTube again or not, the damage to the channel has been done, and it will be very unrecoverable at this point in time. And I think that's the bottom line. Hey, what's up? Yeah, Lucky Bean mentioned planning. Oh yeah, I was mentioned. Yeah, planning doesn't deserve one. Yeah, I tried to be the very best friend that I could. We went to nightclubs. People were always picking up the tab for him, for beers, for meals. Driving around down in the Hillcrest in San Diego and clubs, just unbelievable. How do you weigh that on the scales that the trolls were mean to me for 1 month? I mean, are you a man or are you a mouse? Right? Thank you, Lucky Beans. It is coming, Jordan Blue, and you and I communicate, and I trust you, and I not trust you, but I will tell you this, and I've told you before. Things on YouTube go very slowly because there's 40 million channels to be overseen on YouTube. And at any point in time, probably on a daily basis, maybe 4,000 or 5,000 channels are needing attention, whether it's appeals or whether it's termination appeals or whatever, copyright strike. So what happens is your stuff ends up being in a queue and moving along. Remember, RV Debs lost her channel. It was taken over by Dr. Pimple Popper in India, something like that. They commandeered her channel. And it took 2 months until that all got resolved. So what is my faith level on YouTube? I would say about 25%. You know, that they'll end up doing the right thing, and 75% that they'll end up botching it here. But like I say, it's a win-win situation now. Because after another couple days, when the interest dies down and it'll be back to August, like nobody cares anymore about that content that he's producing. it'll go right back down to tiny views and a deathly slow march of subscribers and things. So right now it's just a hot ticket. But trust me, the negative channels always have their own demise. This is the big picture. Yeah, we're all small turds in a punch bowl, right? We are. Yeah, move thing. Yeah, a troll is not necessarily a bad person. A lot of times a troll is somebody that dares to tell the truth. And I've recognized that about trolls. So-called trolls on my channel. There's a lot of truth that they've brought to me. There's a lot of truth that they've brought to you guys. Okay? Either accept it and understand what the role is or continue to fight with them and get what you get. And that's it. So trust me when I tell you there's and I'm not the only iron in the fire here at the current time. Trust me when I tell you that, okay? And I think our basic premise to YouTube is that our basic question to YouTube is, do terms and conditions mean anything at all? That's the question to be answered. Is there any value in this big manifesto of terms and conditions? Or is it something that people can bypass with subterfuge and cheating and things like that? So, yeah, the mysterious trolls. You groom trolls. You develop trolls. Because, I mean, we got this Ted Barris. He's really a small change on YouTube and trying to be relevant over the last couple of days. And then he tried to use me the last couple of days for content and things like that. But that's how trolls get developed. Then I got new trolls after me on this my other channel and stuff. They get developed because they see you talking shit and they see you challenging people and you'll never find me and blah blah blah. And they also want a white knight for people that have been treated like crap. They want to pick up the gauntlet and go to war for them. So yeah, I told Susie, maybe if you call him Elvis, he'd be nice, but that wasn't, that didn't work out. Because his agenda is to be negative, to bring as much attention as possible, and so that you're talking about him on a daily basis. So I thought, yeah, I'll talk about it. You couldn't keep me out of your mouth last night. All the panels that you've gone on, you couldn't keep me out of your mouth. So I'm just returning a favor. All right, take care, Mark. Love you. Take care. Yeah, that's right, Golden State. Mama, they're trolling me again. I can't believe it. They're trolling me again. And I'm such a good guy. I'm a content creator. I'm the king. I'm the content creator of YouTube. I mean, it's become a bad joke now. But the thing I really wanted to press, guys, was this conditional apology. Because if you go to that part towards the last hour where this guy that had followed Elvis is on the panel, and Elvis keeps hitting and saying, okay, I get it. Okay, can we get closure? Listen, okay, I'm saying, Colleen, if I said anything to offend you, or Cyanide Cupcake, if I said anything to offend you, I apologize for that. But can we get this guy off my back, right? That's all I care about. I'll say anything at all, meaningless words out of my mouth because I'm the dirtiest player in the game, okay? And I just want to highlight and draw that attention to you guys to make sure that you note that very well, that if he has never ever made a direct apology to anybody on YouTube, it's always with the word if. That way, that if means it's on you whether you took it bad. My intention was not to give it bad, but if you took it bad, if you took it in a negative way, well, that's on you, but I apologize for it. I should have probably chosen better words. So I would take that conditional, that situational conditional apology and stick it where the sun don't shine. Because you have something that is totally and completely nothing. How you doing, Cheryl? Hey, Simon, how are you? I might have been in Mexico with that was horrifying. I had a good time a lot of times with Marshall. We had great times. But it's disconcerting when somebody looks at you and all they see you is a mountain to be climbed. You've always provided better content than they've provided. You've always driven more views. You've always had more likes, more subscribers. And if you're somebody that YouTube is your whole life, and there's this Mount Everest that you can never climb, then of course you get the sour grapes, the Aesop's fable. I never wanted it anyway. That sucks. That's it's a goof. That's a Herman she monster. You start doing name calling because you have sour grapes at that point. And I was the one person that continuously over the years got under his skin the most. Okay. So it did not matter how kind I was or what I tried to do, build generator boxes, rebuild the van, do all that work. It in his heart was black with hatred. Okay. I mean, I really hate to say that, but there was harboring hatred in the heart. That's an awful thing to say because YouTube came before a friendship. YouTube always wanted every single point in time. Not come on and just having a good time or do content. Hey, let's go metal detecting. Let's review restaurants. Let's do Rancho Kitchen Stadium. I'm not thinking about how many people are watching now or how many viewers do I have. It's because I'm here, blah, blah, blah. All that nonsense. What's up, Hondo? How you doing? Good to see you too. I enjoy your repair videos on Zebco and other reels. You got a real skill on you. Yeah, he's always been very jealous. I'm the one person on YouTube that he's never been able to climb that mountain, and that's really, really rather pathetic when you think about it. But then again, that's why his family has, Narse doesn't want anything to do. Narse's moved on. He's matured. He works. Think of all the people that Elvis has burned. Tasha, he burned Coates, Lars Hope, all these people because he's incapable of dealing with people as a human being. He only sees people in terms of whether they're content or not on YouTube. It came out of your own mouth how many times? A leopard. Yeah, that's right. And I owned that last night, Jordan Blue. And I will reiterate again, as many people told me over the last year, a person cannot change their basic nature. And it's very true. And every time that I've gone against that and tried to fight that, I've always learned how correct I am and how stupid I am for trying to swim against the tide of a person's basic nature. You have there's a very flawed WWE character that's incapable of self-reflection and seeing himself and understanding how he looks to other people in society. So we can see, given the path you're on and the trajectory we're on, we could potentially see you living on the street in a cardboard box. It wouldn't be too far-fetched. Because you burned every bridge behind you and you've groomed your laziness to a point where you don't work. And that's a sad outcome for anybody in the world. Okay? To be alone and miserable like that. Yeah, I did want to believe. I did want to believe that you could have time together that would change a person's nature, and it's very hurtful to realize that you're just you're a tool along the way, and there's nothing genuine about those feelings at all. So when he talks about friendship and all that, I really ever doubt if there was really a friendship there. Yeah, need to climb to get a jobby poo mountain, exactly. Well, that'll come. That'll come. It's a much more difficult world out there today. It's going to be a much more unforgiving world. The van has now become, I don't know, 31 years old or whatever, 32 years old. We all know mechanically that there will be the catastrophic breakdown. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next month, maybe not in 2021. But there's been no money put aside for a capital reserve. There's no money there to put aside for another vehicle month after month to save towards the replacement of the vehicle. I've been on a long time. Family member of mine. Oh, I'm sorry, Honda, but I see your Zebco, like repairing or reviewing Zebco reels. I'm sorry about your family member. He says he is in line. Yes, he rarely tells the truth in life and on YouTube. So if you can't even fundamentally come out and answer people truthfully, are you gay or not? If you can't come out and be truthful about that, how can anything be believed? Right? We're in Mexicali and you're giving into your animal urges down there. Not with a female, okay? Right. I mean, if you can't even face that reality about yourself, then I mean, everything else should be a breeze to not tell the truth about, right? You know. So it's in this box of self-loathing too, that this self-loathing of hating yourself because you can't be yourself. You have to play at being something else on YouTube. And you go to sleep at night and you close your eyes and you say, God, this is so horrible to put up this one way on YouTube and then live this totally different life. Can you imagine how much of a psychic vampire that is on you? When you just can't admit, I mean, it's 2020, it's almost 2021, okay? I don't think so, Kittykins. You know, think it's full long day, but there's nothing. This is 2020. I don't, people give you more respect if you just own it. So, I do think so, Joe. I think repressed sexuality and not being able to be true to yourself takes an enormous toll on people. I know as a trans gal, I do consider myself third gendered in the sense that I like both male and female attributes about myself. But it does take a toll when you have to live with that as a secret, and it's very debilitating mentally. It's very, very debilitating. See, who was the little Richard? I'm not sure. I think it was probably somebody that he just met at the bar up there in Manitowoc. Up there, so hey Joey, in the fabs of the scorpion and the frog. He's exactly, Joey, exactly, yeah, that's right, the fable of the scorpion and the frog, exactly. So I don't speak, I've never it was hurtful too when he was riding down the streets of Chicago and people were sending me clips of he was goading on Janet to talk about me like I'm a man and I'm a dude and all that. How's that for somebody that's a friend? And I never ever brought family in. And I bought dinner for Janet and I met her in Chicago. And we had a good time. And to have him turn her against me was it was jaw-dropping for me. Jaw-dropping that somebody could be that much of a lowlife to talk about that. And, I never talked about the way Janet looks because I'm a respectful person, okay? And I'm not going to do so today. The only thing I can say today is we had a good, friendly encounter. And I like to keep that in my mind and like to think that absent his goading and leading on, that I don't think that that's the kind of person that she is. But that's the kind of person he is. The low life. And it showed you how I've lived rent-free in his head forever on YouTube. Forever. And am I sorry he's reached this point today? No, because I think at the end of the day, this could be the best thing that ever happens to him for having a viable future, is to take YouTube off of a paying basis and be out in the job world, getting a job, getting some coin in your pocket, getting some health insurance, getting your lifestyle stabilized, okay? I'll prefer to see it in those terms, if that's what's best for the long haul. And it's really up to God and it's up to YouTube whether that happens or not. So, yeah, I did work hard, yeah. That's exactly right. I'm not buying a whole bit of that. I'm a sexual time to grow up in that. Yeah, you're in America here. Yeah, I don't know, Diagi. I don't, I've never gone that way. I don't talk about animals or who people are banging. I try to keep things on a very respectful level and just talk factually about things and not grab the low-hanging fruit. But he would always grab the low-hanging fruit because at times like that with his sister Janet, you get to see how black the heart is. You get to see how that this is really not a good person. This is really a person that has no moral compass, has no feelings for anybody else, and is just all about himself. And those kind of people always end up hitting the wall at high speed, like just happened here in September here on YouTube. He hit the wall. Well, he was hardly moving actually because the channel was dead because nobody cared anymore about it. And then boom, it just exploded. Probably didn't take any time at all to write a cogent appeal to YouTube, just something that would be written in crayon and submitted. I'm best for business, and we made a lot of business together, and I didn't do anything wrong, and that's the worst. That's the thing. That's the thing that YouTube just gives you an automatic, your history. That's good doing, Cindy. Good to see you, honey. But I will never go low in those type of situations. But I will tell you the things that were personally hurtful to me. So if anybody thinks that any apology that comes out of his mouth would be heartfelt, they've got another thing coming. Because I'm sure he's counseled. I'm sure he was on the phone to Drawer. Yeah. Just come out there and say anything. They're all lowlifes. You are the show. Just say whatever you want. Just get that guy off your back. You're in the red zone. Just be your usual self. Give a meaningless conditional apology. And MGTOW forever. Men grabbing their own wieners. Yeah. That's the kind of counseling, no doubt, that he gets. You are the show. Well, it looks like the show's closing up on Broadway, baby. No return engagement. Yes, I still believe that Drury counsels him on a very regular basis. Yes, I do. Because to Drury, it's all about the show, right? It's all about showbiz. That's what it is. I take loans from coworkers he can't keep a job because the job would entail getting up early in the morning and totally revamping your lifestyle. Being neat and clean, coming to work and not showing up in prison slides, and being well groomed, being respectful to coworkers and a boss. Sometimes you can be so many years out of the workforce that you come in like a wild dog. And sometimes a wild dog just can't be tamed. And somebody just has to take a 45 and just put the dog out of your and its misery. Okay? So, that's the bottom line on that. Yeah, and God forbid if you have a woman boss, oh, that MGTOW's going to kick in, men grabbing their own wieners. Oh, that's going to be bad. That's going to be really bad. Yeah, that fire, Johnny, is right on the eastern edge. It's moving into the city of Santa Rosa, yes. Outside is yellow, murky, terrible, red sun, ash piled up here. It's almost like Pompeii, it's looking like. Yeah, you might be a sign turner. Turner's an independent contractor. You know, the person is promoting townhouse open house today and you're spinning the sign, or a furniture closeout, that type of thing. Could do that. Yeah, ash is crazy here. It's terrible outside. If you look at my channel and the Rosie O'Kelly channel this morning, you will see a video of how this worst ashing I've ever seen here. Yeah, women bosses, and better recognize the shape of the world, that women are wearing bigger pants these days, and there's more women enrolled in medical school, law schools, significant positions of authority and leadership. And if you come in with that male attitude of I'm superior and women are here to serve me, and I would never get married because I don't want to be tied down and have to support a woman, and dude, you couldn't support a canary, okay? And that's the bottom line. You don't have to worry about some fantasy world of you ending up with a woman. It ain't never going to happen. Really? Do you ever think about pulling up? Yeah, I do think about getting the hell out of here. I do, Lisa. I really consider, getting out of here if my life wasn't poured into this place and all the work that I did and all the effort. What's up, Jay? Yeah, Hallie and Chet, that's it. So, world famous YouTube celebrity. No, Golden State, you're a nice person. Okay. You know why? Because you have a very good basic nature. Your basic nature is to be a decent person in the morning. Your basic nature doesn't have to wake up in the morning and say, how much of a slob can I be today to derive attention? How much can I smack this food down so people will talk about it? Did you see Elbow eating that Italian beef and it was dripping all over down his arm and in the elbows, and oh my God, then people race over to look at the video and things like that. Even Narse told that's exactly what he does, is contrive to make the most obnoxious content that will have people talking about him on YouTube. Instead of doing positive content and leaving a good body of stuff, it's all drivel that nobody cares about after a day or so. Good, Jay. I only have one person chat now these days. Rosie, YouTube is saturated with too many that butt stream morons. I don't know, Andrew. You've always seemed very well grounded to me. You like fishing, and you're good friends with Jen, and I like Jenny, Jen, and I like Jenny, Jen. I think she's like her accent and things. So, yeah, you try to be gross. You try to wake up in the morning and just think of, God, how can I get people to, what am I going to do today? Let me take my shirt off and do this, and let me shave myself and all this kind of crazy stuff. It's gotten to the point people just don't really care about that anymore. So you'll have a little moment of hot now, but it will rapidly fade because now there's boots on the ground and people watching. And I hope whoever this mysterious person is, if it's Ramirez or somebody like that on the channel, or a family member, I hope that they keep I hope that they keep a look at and keep a close watch on things. Okay. This is the kind of little worm, the little insect that you don't want to let up when you got the pin in it. Okay, you don't want to let up. Okay, that's the only way you can assure the peace of mind for people like Colleen and for people like Cyanide Cupcake. For me, I could care less. Okay, I get whipped in a lot of different chats. I could care less about it. But for people like Colleen and Cyanide Cupcake, I would definitely keep the feet to the fire for sure. Okay, because the conditional if, the backed into a corner apology means nothing because it all kept going to that point. Okay, do we have a deal? Let's just go for closure. Let's just have a gentleman's agreement. In other words, let this end now because I'm not in control. When I'm in control, I'll make you all suffer day in, day out, week in, week out. I will let it, there'll be no mercy. Rosie, I'm going to not only try to strike you, not give you a 7-day warning to remove the video, but I'm going to try to terminate your channel, okay? Is this a nice person? All right? There is no good bone in this person's body. All right? The mistake that's been made before is when you got somebody pinned down, letting them get off the mat. All right? We've seen that in life before. That's the reality. The conditional apology, if I did anything to offend you, I'm going to apologize now because I'm nervous about this guy that has his eyes on me on a daily basis. So I will say anything to get that boot off of my neck. Anything whatsoever. Don't fall for it. Do not fall for it. You now have in a situation where he's bound that behavior now, bound over for good behavior. All right. Will he talk crap again about Colleen and Cyanide Cupcake? Yeah, if that boot is lifted off, yeah, you better believe it. Find me now, trolls. Woo! You're weak. You got no skills. Let me turn the camera outside the window here. Woo! See if you can find me. What do you think about that, Miss Aloha? Huh? You gonna have your henchmen come and get me? I am right. I'm 100% right. 100% right. Do not fall for the nonsense about closure and the conditional apology, okay? All right? My best advice. Until YouTube has had their final say here, that would be my best advice. I have no idea about that, Jordan Blue. I'm not aware of the bags outside in the. I honestly very rarely watch any content. I was watching the streams last night where I just dominated the conversation that he was talking about. And you could tell I just live in that head 24/7, year in, year out, year in and year out. So that's my best advice. That was no apology last night. That was an apology to wiggle away like a worm, okay? If I said anything to offend. No recognition that my whole channel's been an offense to people, but if I said anything, then I apologize. But do we have a deal? Do we have a gentleman's agreement? Right? Hey, Colleen, look, I got a gentleman's agreement with this guy. Are you going to honor it? Are we going to have closure on this? And I like Colleen is like, it's not in my hands. What she should have said, it's in your hands. Okay. You have your hand on the button of pain, all right? Not us. By your own words and actions. And I would beg Colleen to not let up one iota on that. And whoever's got the boots on the ground and the eyeballs on the situation. Yeah, can we make a gentleman's agreement? I mean, that requires gentlemen, right? That requires people that are true to their word. And it's like, I don't understand, Colleen, how you came along or how you got aboard. Well, how about the crap that you said about Tucker and his family? Right? Now, I know Tucker was using you for views and for fundraising, which I didn't agree about. not fundraising, but for whatever he was doing, using Elvis for that purpose. We knew that that was happening. Okay, and we know how that turned out in the end on that. But that's really the genesis of where she came on board at that point in time. And she's a lot like me. Once in a while, you're going to run into somebody that's really, really tenacious. Okay, it's not going to let go. It's going to take the time to work through all the paperwork, all the red tape, be knocked back by YouTube 8 times before the 9th time you get a bite. You know, and if I had to write Susan Wojcicki, the executive director of YouTube, I would do that too. Doesn't matter to me. 50 words a minute with 2 fingers. I knock that stuff out all day long. Tenacious, yeah. Maybe not Rosie Murphy, but maybe Rosie O'Kelly. Yes, tenacious in nature. It's a real no road work. So this is the best shot. This is the best shot we all got. So you know, it could be in the long run the best things that happen. The correct thing that the trolls always said is that this is for your own. This is for your own future. One day you may thank us for bouncing you off of YouTube and forcing you to get a job with all the good psychological feedback that entails of having a paycheck and money in the bank and a better feeling of self-worth instead of self-loathing. And then maybe you can face everything from your sexuality to personality deficiencies and things like that. Get some counseling. How you doing, Botter? Nice to see you. You take some down again. Will it be less than 30? Johnny Cornflake, I would say it's going to take longer than 30 days, just based on the way that YouTube is working off-site now and trying to coordinate with reviewers and things like that. Probably take something more on the order of 30 to 60, possibly 90 days, because it's a very slow process, because there's some sneakiness involved in which channels being used, and names have been changed of channels and things like that. So you have to kind of lead YouTube like dropping little pieces of cheese on the road that YouTube follows. So you have to kind of guide them. Look at this and see where this came from, and look at what this is. Look at what this is now. Yeah, everybody saw the real elbow when he met Mr. Dirty in Vegas. Yeah. Hey, Mimi. And Mr. Dirty would have never raised a hand to anybody. You know, he's a nice guy. It's not his nature, but it was pretty funny. Pretty funny that night. Because I got the advanced word from Mr. Dirty, and I said, nobody's going to get hurt or anything, are they? No, but you'll just know when I pop up somewhere in Las Vegas when you're out shooting. Just understand, I'm going to pop up somewhere in Vegas, and damn if he didn't, at the downtown or motel pool area there. And it's like, whoa, because I'd seen him last time. And the guy just loomed out of the darkness like 6 feet 6 inches tall, and I'm just looking at him. I'm 5 feet 6. I'm just looking up at this guy like, whoa. And even Dee's like, whoa. You know, Dee's 6 feet 2.5 or whatever, and here's you almost made me dirty my pants. The first time I did. What's up, Roger Brown? How you doing? Good to see you. So that's what made me, but Mr. Dirty was nice. We met with Mr. Dirty afterward. We sat around the pool for a while. Mr. Dirty didn't want to really be around and do all that stuff, so. Yeah, I think so. But he will put up that false front of bravado. I don't care what happens, whatever, let the chips fall where they may. And, in the meantime, Hosey can get screwed or whatever, and she talk about me all the time. Dude, you talked about me for hours last night on the last week on panels. Hours. But inside, yes, there's you can bet there's a big fear factor right now of the future and how to make a way forward on a platform, knowing that you could be taken out at any second on it. So, yeah, I'm gonna tell you, Hondo, I almost did too when Mr. Dirty showed up the first time. It's like blah, 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 blah. I'm looking up at this guy like Rosie, and I hear this name. I'm like, oh God, I'm stream sniped again on the stream. And I turn around and I'm looking at the guy's belly button level, right? Oh God, yes. I need to have a word with you. I'm like feeling for my pepper spray, right? Jack and the Beanstalk. How you doing, Scott? I got to bed about 5 o'clock. I got up about 7:30 because these alerts have been going off all night long about evacuation warnings and things like that in the city of Santa Rosa. So I seen that guy. One lucky then getting to travel. I've never seen any graduates. Yes. Yeah, Cornholio was a game changer. Yeah, I was up at. I went to bed about 4:30. I was on Dave's. I wanted to see. Sig was on there, and I don't agree with everything that Sig says or believes, but we had a good conversation last night. And I told Sig I respect the art of the parody things. I would know somebody for parody. Takes a lot of work to do parody stuff, and like Sig said, it's never. I mean, he's had me like Herman Munster and stuff, and I don't give a flying. It doesn't matter to me. Sig's just doing parody and all that. If you can't take it, if your sense of self is that weak that you don't feel good about yourself, then parody is going to drive you crazy. If I met up with yeah, I know. Hondo would give him the West Virginia special, man. Boom! Right there. The West Virginia special. Say it. We call the Hurricane West Virginia special, baby. I know West Virginia well, man. I know it all, from Harper's Ferry all down the Shenandoah Valley. Okay, so I don't meet anyone from YouTube. I've met a lot of people. I don't have regrets of the people I've met on. They've been good people. It's a trust. That was old man. Can't viewers. I don't trust Sig. Anyone that was on that panel, Rosie. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't sleep last night. All these warnings are going off. I walked outside. It looked like a blizzard. There was so much ash coming down in the air. And I just thought I would go on panel and kill a little bit of time and answer some questions and things. So, Mothman. I'll deal with no, not anymore. So there'll be no mercy because he tried to terminate my channel. So if you do that in a really devious way, then I'm going to take it to the wall. I'm going to do whatever I can to take out your channel and make sure that you don't ever rise again. And it will be much easier every time that it happens because the pathway has already been established. So. Oh, hell, I know that. I know that, Hondo. I've always enjoyed every time I spent. I got relatives down in Maggie Valley, North Carolina, West Virginia, down in that area. Asheville. Yeah, yogurt. Yeah, no rising. That's it, Roger Brown. Thank you, G. Thank you. Yeah, I've seen Cheryl. I've tried to reach out to her and Graham there, and we're all in the fire area. The eastern side of Santa Rosa is already on fire today, so the sky is just sickeningly yellowish here. And I don't know if you guys have seen this. I'll take you outside for a minute and show you how bad it looks out here. Air is terrible. There's what passes for the sun today. That little red dot up there. But if you look in the air, it looks like snow coming down here. And look at all the ash everywhere. Look at this. On all the plants coming down out of the air, it's like snow. It is just, this is all redwoods and homes that are burning up and stuff that are coming down, landing here. This is the most insane I've ever seen it here. I don't even know if these plants are going to make it. You know, they're already the eggplants are discoloring and stuff. It's all weird. All this ash. We're breathing this stuff. All right. Table. This is the worst it's ever been, and just constant big particles falling out of the sky here. People are breathing that. Look at these ashes falling out of the sky. People are just numb to it here. Just terrible. I'm keeping my ears open for alerts. They come in loud. Even if you have your volume turned off, they still come in. Look at the van here. Baked in ash. The sky is as terrible as it can be. And I think everybody here is they've just reached the end of their rope with this fire stuff year in and year out. That's what we're dealing with. Here's the Shine Shack. I'll show you where been airing this out because terror's coming soon. Here's where the sink was pulled out of the wall. Here, this thing was pulled away about 1.5 inches. My eyes are doing terrible here. And I had to go through and take the whole sink out and hit the studs again with a new support bracket, because I'm sure he leaned on it when he was checking his leaning forward and looking at his teeth and pulled it right off the wall. What the hell is that? Looks like some kind of cricket or something. They're good luck in the house, so I'm gonna leave that go. But this was, you can see how the counter is stained here from all the cooking. That'll be permanent. All the oil. There was goo on all the cabinets and everything. So that'll never come out, that stain. Yeah, I thought I sealed it. I always seal the inside, but it is what it is. You know, it's got some kind of joy juice that came out here, but it is what it is. Still a nice setup out here. If you're a guest here, you're very comfortable. You got your own refrigerator. You got your own vintage 1972 Magnavox Astrosonic console there. Zenith. Hell, you even get to share a space with a nice still, right? I even raised and coffered the ceiling to accommodate that still, to raise it up from the standard 8 feet to 9 feet 6 inches up there. Yes, it was a lot of work. You can go back and see before this was restored. It was a whorehouse before I bought it, in a shooting gallery. Yeah. So guests come here, Monkey Boy, Mr. Z, and Tara. They're very comfortable here. They get their own privacy. They get their own little place. And meanwhile, it's just another funky day. Thank you, Jody. Hi, Kimberly. How are you? Good to see you. I don't know what happened to this bee's nest, guys. All of a sudden, one day the bees were just gone. They just got out of Dodge. Yeah, thank you, Carl. Yeah, the still is very nice. But I don't know how much ash we've sucked down this summer here with the breathing in this stuff all the time. It can't be good for you. Plastics, all kinds of phenolics and things that are burned up in the air. Wood. Hey, Val. Well, it was 100 degrees yesterday. So as you can hardly see the sun, it's just a little dot because there's so much smoke in there. But I came out last night about 4:30 this morning, actually, when I got off of the panel. And it actually looked like it was a blizzard here. There was so much ash coming down. It was unreal. Looked like a snowstorm out here. It's all dirty. Yep, you're moving in, Debbie Lynn. Woo! What's up, Sean? How you doing? It's really taking a toll on the garden. Still see ash falling. Terrible. What's up, Jay Money? What's up? Did you say need before you get live chat that I think you need about, to get the live chat button, I think you need 25,000 subscribers. I believe 10,000 gives you the email button, and then I think 25,000 gives you the chat button with YouTube. You don't really know when it is, but I just tell you from my own observation, because it just appears one day it's there. And the larger your channel grows, the more direct help you get from YouTube. But this thing of getting rid of this guy's channel may or may not work, because it's not, you know, I'm not directly involved in it. So YouTube might turn a blind eye and not care. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's a win-win situation. I love New York, Kimberly. I loved Buffalo and Upstate New York is gorgeous. New York is a beautiful state. Stunning. This ash just will not let up. How's things up in your area, Sean? We're getting all this flowing from the east to the west here out of Napa County. Oh, that's nice, Vanessa. That's it. I'm starting to lose heart for Halloween and decorating and celebrating. Yeah, I'm gonna get some tomatoes in a bit. I got some really nice ones. I got some over here I didn't even notice. These nice big beautiful heirloom jobs right here. This was a volunteer tomato plant. This came up from last year. Really nice, great color. Very nice, beautiful classic tomatoes. Look at all this ash. Terrible. And people are breathing that in all the time. So I don't know what the long-term health aspects of living in this state might be uninhabitable in the future. Might be. How you doing, Craig? Nice to see you. So I think with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close that. I've spoken my piece today. See what else I'm going to do. I'll probably try to. It's no point sweeping or doing anything on this deck here because it's just going to be more ash raining down for the next couple days. Oh, I would say now I'm probably about 8 miles from the fires to the east of me here. It's moving into the western, it's moving into the eastern side of the city of Santa Rosa now, So y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you as usual to my wonderful moderators on here. And yeah, have a beautiful, yeah, it's close. At least the wind died down. There's not a bit of wind, so that makes the fire more vertical instead of spreading in a horizontal way, so that's good. All right, everybody. Thank you, Susie, and everybody. Bill Ellis, everybody have a wonderful day. And thumbs up are appreciated.